You listening?
What is the crack, folks? This is a Craic'n Coachin podcast. You're here with Donal and Emmett, and we are going to deep dive into today's topic of deloads. Do we need them, or are they the biggest load of bollocks? But first of all, Emmett, how are you doing?
I'm going well, mate. I'm going very well indeed. It's been a good week. Good week of training. Good week on all fronts. And how have you been, mate?
I'm good, brother. Before we jump into me, how many weeks are we out from starting with AJ Morris?
I'd say a couple, one or two.
One or two? Nice. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Get a new perspective, learn some stuff, and get stuck into. It'll feel real in terms of bodybuilding prep once I do. But just taking over at the minute, still keeping a good structure in place. Still training hard, and not deloading. I haven't deloaded in a very, very long time. So we'll dive into that.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, what is a deload? Have you got any sort of a nice description, a simple description of what this is?
I would say a time where you either reduce volume, intensity, or take some time off the gym completely in order to reset, refresh, wash off some fatigue.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fucking solid right there. In terms of deloads, like you said there, I haven't really deloaded in a very long time either, and I don't know if it's a case that, because me and you are sort of in the same boat here, we're like, do we actually need them, or have we just got better at managing our overall fatigue and not being wee bitches? Maybe not pushing the boat out far enough. Maybe we're not training hard enough anymore, Emmett. Maybe we are being wee bitches.
I don't think so. I think it's down to effective programming, as you said, managing that fatigue a bit better, probably managing stress, and maybe not doing too much volume as well. The last time I took a deload was after my photo shoot prep, and I'd obviously naturally you're going to dig yourself a bit of a hole there. I needed some time away from the gym, even just psychologically as well as physically, because I just wasn't enjoying. I needed a bit of just time away to get that enthusiasm and energy back and recover a bit. But other than that, I haven't deloaded since, and that was at the end of October, so I haven't deloaded since November. We're into April. That's a decent amount of time
without a deload, without something that some coaches sort of put in place as a, I guess this is a topic to dive into. What about pre-planning deloads?
Yeah, auto-regulating, I'm not a fan of that. I think take them if and when they're needed, but don't schedule a deload every 6 to 8 weeks just because that's what, I don't know, but that's what you have planned. Or just listen to your actual body and how you feel in your recovery, and your training metrics, and make sure if everything's progressing, then why would you take a deload, or why would you take time away if it's working?
Yeah, so I would say, again, sort of in the same boat with you there, I don't really think they're necessarily needed, or they should be programmed in unless they're needed. At the very start, it can be so hard to dictate the output that you have, or even just in basic programming too. And even as a client, it can be quite hard to understand what to communicate to a coach so that you do require some sort of a deload. And sometimes it's not physical either. Sometimes it is mental. Sometimes you're just in a very stressful situation and high strung.
Yeah, so let's say, when would there be a case that you need a deload?
Need a deload. I honestly, the only time I really, really see it, and it's exactly what you said there, that's a lack of enjoyment.
Yeah, if your enjoyment's starting to dwindle a bit, especially if you're someone that really loves training. If I'm not enjoying the gym, there's something wrong, because I absolutely love it. It's my favourite part of the day. So if I'm starting to feel like it's a bit of a chore to get in the first place, that's probably a sign that I might need a deload. Another sign I would say might need a deload is if you're struggling to progress, like everything's tanking, you're not progressing across any movements, everything just doesn't feel great. Maybe you're a bit more beat up, you have a high level of fatigue, you're maybe excessive soreness even going into sessions, you're not well recovered, and that is a case that you might need a deload. That's providing your programming is set up correctly as well, that you're not like just doing way too much volume that you can't recover from. But we'll assume that your program is in a good spot, and you're doing adequate volume that you can generally recover from. If there comes a point in time you're not recovering from that, you're generating too much fatigue, your enjoyment is starting to suffer a bit, then it might be time to take some time away completely. Or another approach can be to take a bit of a de-volume, where you still go into the gym, and this is my preferred approach, to be honest. You still go into the gym, but you just reduce the amount of volume and intensity. And I think the reason I like that approach, if you're someone that enjoys the gym, you don't want to take time away from it completely. It's part of your routine. You're still getting in there. You're still getting some amount of stimulus. You're still moving the body, and even like psychologically, mentally, it's doing you good. But you're also allowing your fatigue to wash off slightly because you're not pushing to the levels you normally do.
Yeah, that's a topic I was actually going to... Just 2 seconds. I'm going to try and move this camera a wee bit because someone commented on the Instagram the other day about my mind going all hazy because there's sunlight coming through. But yes, I'd much rather a devolume. But then I guess that brings the argument, again, just going back to programming overall. It's like, if you're needing deloads, needing devolumes, are you just pushing the boat out too far? Or maybe is that the approach? Speaking of Mr. AJ Morris, this sort of seems to be the trend there with a lot of his clients' training, is that they do sort of use those blocks of maybe 1 to 8 weeks, from week 1 till 8, to push hard in that block as hard as they possibly can, then deload by maybe 2 to 3 days, and then go again. And maybe there's something to be said there about that sort of milestone setup there, where you're like, okay, I'm coming to the end of this block, I can push the boat out a wee bit further than I usually do. Psychologically, is it a better approach sometimes for certain people that maybe their training standard isn't held as high on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I suppose it does depend on your setup and your intensity. So I would imagine vast majority of AJ's clients are competitors. They're training hard. Their accuracy in the gym across majority of their exercises is very good, so you can guarantee that they're pushing hard. And there's a case probably after a certain amount of time within that mesocycle or block of training that sometime just taking a bit of a devolume in terms of reducing that intensity and that workload, or taking some time away from the gym, is probably warranted.
Yeah, I agree. So me as a person in general, I hate the answer, it depends. I believe that... Where have you gone?
Sorry, I'm still here.
I thought Emmett was running for a piss again. We were only 8 minutes into the podcast.
No, I've sorted that, mate, for today. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, on a personal note, I really do hate that answer. It depends, but yes, it does. It really depends on the situation, and hard to dictate that. There is just how well it works for you. And I know for a fact as well, we've talked about this in previous topics, but is it a case that you just need to try it, and if it's working, or if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. In
fairness, all I said, I did schedule a deload for one of my clients this week. So it's context and dependent. Like, I'll not take a you never deload sort of stance, or you must always deload after 8 weeks. I think you'll know when you need a deload if those signs that were sort of mentioned, when it comes to enjoyment, fatigue, recovery, aren't in check. You can just step back slightly, and that will allow you to go again and do a new block. The context that I've just given the deload there was for a client who just wrapped up a fat loss phase, pushed quite hard, got into really good shape, and they're coming in. They're going through a bit of a maintenance block. We've been I think he's been coaching with me maybe 18 weeks, and we haven't taken any time away from the gym. I know, because he sends videos every single week. He pushes hard. His intensity is absolutely, there's no doubt he's going 0 reps in reserve. And he was starting to just give me a bit of feedback of his enjoyment in the gym. He was like, he still was getting it done, but not necessarily enjoying it. And I knew for him that was a sign that he may have needed some time off. Fatigue was quite high in terms of recovery metrics and data, because we track all that. And I said, look, we'll just take the first 2 sessions of your training week here. I take a bit of a devolume approach, wash off that fatigue, and then you go into the rest of the week, and then the new training block in the improvement phase, fresh, and eager to go in and train again. So I think it'll be helpful.
Yeah, I think that's a good coach right there. You know, far away.
Just need to charge my laptop. Go ahead, man.
Emmett, did you just text your fiance to come and give you a charger?
And right away, she done it within seconds.
What a woman, with a hangover as well.
Yeah, well, I've helped her out in that instance as well. So she's returned the favour.
It's quite nice. And
Aye.
do you believe that everything you do for your fiance has to be returned?
No. I think.
We'll put Emmett on the hot seat here.
No, we just do nice stuff for each other.
It's
She just doesn't
100%
wanna
on each
feature.
side, isn't it?
Yeah, she just doesn't want to feature in the podcast just yet. So she made sure not to be in line of sight.
To be fair, mate, if I was hanging, I wouldn't even want to see anybody. So I understand why you don't
Yeah.
want to be. Also, I also understand why you wouldn't want to be on our podcast. Konnichiwa, our Japanese listeners. That was a bit of a
Arigato
mad
for
one.
listening. Arigato for listening. All our followers in Japan. We're trending in Japan.
Which is really strange. There was a couple of other random ones. I was like, what the fuck? See, so either, and I'm hoping it is this, I'm hoping we have actually gone across the globe and people are listening to us, or alternatively, people are using dodgy VPNs.
I'm assuming it's going to be the former. We'll have a few Japanese fans.
I
They
hope
knew
they can
that I
understand
was-
us.
We're going to have to. I think we're going to have to make sure we're toning it down a bit, because the Belfast slang and all that can definitely come in when it's 2 West Belfast man chatting amongst each other.
I've actually got a Aussie client at the minute, in person, and he was saying that. He says like it's okay to talk 1-to-1, but he said as soon as he's in the Muay Thai gym and like 3 or 4 of them are talking to each other, he's looking at them, they all start laughing, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. I feel so bad for him, like. But sorry, we've gone off the path a wee bit there. So Deload.
We can stay with this, because take Olivia for example. Take the average person. I'm not saying Olivia's the average person now. Get myself in trouble. But take the average
Above
person,
average.
for example, who is just going to the gym. They're not competing, or they're maybe not taking it overly seriously, but they do like still getting in the gym and training. You'll find most people will deload just by byproduct of maybe going on holiday or going away for a week, and as a result of that, they'll not train for that period of time they're away, and that can act as like an almost an unplanned sort of deload that usually people will take who go on holiday or go away from time to time.
I never really thought about that. That's actually a very good one. And maybe that's why, like, well, me, you, and even some clients as well that I have on board, like, it's maybe out of 20 clients, I'm seeing maybe 1, 2 of them needing a deload, but those are the ones that are very, like, routined and, like, follow habits and don't actually go on holidays, whereas everyone else's phase I've set up in the last maybe year have been in line with a show or a holiday, an event of some sort.
Yeah, and even maybe then people, when they go on holiday, they still train. And that is actually reminded me, I went on holiday to New Zealand for 12 days, and as we've discussed, I trained like twice there. So that I wasn't following a structured training plan, so that would have been a deload for me. That would have been an additional deload off the back of coming out of photo shoot prep, where I took a bit of extended time away from the gym, and as a result of that, you might think, like some people might think they're going on holiday and worry that they're going to lose all their progress. But if you look at it from a different perspective, that you are going to set yourself up for the next 5-6 months not needing to take time off, then it's actually pretty productive, isn't it, going away and switching off? I think everyone needs to do it at some stage. No one can train hard 365 days of the year without taking some sort of break in between.
And to be honest, I'll go out on a limb and say that if that's you, you're just not training hard enough.
That's another thing. So if you never ever need a deload ever, and you're just not training hard enough. But I used to
especially if you're not making progress.
Yeah, I used to be ultra that stance. So if you don't need a deload, you're just not training hard. Whereas now we're saying we probably don't need a deload as frequently as maybe we would have thought we needed previously. But yeah, like if you never ever need one, you probably just aren't training hard enough.
I think this is more of a case of controlling the external better, Emmett, though. I think whenever we're quite young, it's very hard to realise how much damage your environment is actually doing to you in terms of stress, especially. I am a big one for this here. I didn't realise the people I had around me, and even trying to sort of keep up with my day-to-day life while training with bodybuilding. Like, I wasn't just letting bodybuilding become something that I wanted to be. Like, I didn't realise that. I was still trying to keep up with this old personality I had, which is difficult, you know. It's very, very difficult to try and balance both.
Yeah, I think your environment plays a massive role too in all that sort of stuff. Like, yeah, you're especially stress management. Like, if you're going out every weekend without fail, or even semi-frequently, and indulging in alcohol specifically, then your recovery is going to be absolutely tanked. Your sleep quality is going to be pretty poor, and your output, your enthusiasm, your energy is all going to take a bit of a dip during the week, and you'll find your training quality will suffer as a result of that. But that might be when, if you're still trying to push hard through that and out-train bad lifestyle habits, it's going to end in injury or burnout. Yeah, you're going to need a deload a lot sooner.
So, sort of overarching idea from what I'm gathering from us both here is that you could easily get away from frequent deloads by fixing external issues.
Lifestyle habits.
Program.
Fixing your lifestyle habits, having a good routine in place, having good structure to your day-to-day, and making sure your nutrition facilitates your training, making sure your training performance is set up where you're able to measure your progress and you're performing at a volume that you can recover from. How do you know you're recovering? You're able to progress. You're not going to carry an excessive soreness into those sessions.
Yeah, I totally agree with Emmett here. He's hit the nail on the head. Definitely. I'm trying to actually think when the last time I think the last time I had a proper deload, like, I mean a scheduled like couple of days off, was prep. The rest of the time it's just been like holidays, like time away. Yeah. Like, even in Barcelona there, you smashed it there. Like, I did one full body session, and that covered nearly 2 to 3 days worth of training for me.
Yeah, so we've probably, even because you don't even think of those things, and that's as coaches. So most people will not think that. Yeah, most people will not think that it was a deload, and that won't automatically come to mind. But that is time away from the gym, so we can't quantify that as a deload as well.
During the deload time as well, because sorry, go ahead. How about?
No, I was going to say, in the other end of the spectrum, there might be just people that just don't ever want to take time off. They're afraid of losing progress. They constantly push, and dig themselves into a hole. That'll result in injury, and it'll result in like your progress stagnating, and your training quality might suffer too. I think having an external eye and someone overseeing your process, and having a coach who's able to measure the data with an objective lens is going to be your best friend there as well.
Yeah, it's invaluable, really is, to have someone that's just not as subjective as you are. Like Emmett says before, like, you treat yourself like a wee snowflake sometimes, and you believe that you're so special. Like, there's nothing special about poor recovery. In the Deload time as well, I said to you about it whenever I was in Barcelona, and you were flabbergasted, you were taken back. But I usually come away from caffeine too, and again, these are things that I think we're just not even taking into account that we're doing. Like, so I'll actually pull back on high stimulants. And also, to quickly touch on what you just said there now, you mentioned people not wanting to come away from the gym. Have you seen this trend of the gym not being therapy?
Yeah, I've seen a bit on that.
Yeah, it's big in the UK bodybuilding at the minute, where people are arguing back and forward about it.
Are you, and specifically, there's a bit of two people, a bit of a loggerheads. Are we on the same track here in regards to like PTSD and bodybuilding, things like that?
I haven't dove into that yet. Finn told me about it the other day, but I just seen the sort of previous arguments there, where a lot of people were saying that, like, the gym is not therapy, and I think that that's the extreme version of what they're talking about. Those people that are literally cannot take a day off, because if they do, it's going to absolutely ruin their life, their week. You know, you need to be able to take time away. Also, whenever I take time away or I take a deload, I find it the perfect time to develop other parts of my life. Like, I will, like, clients will realise it. If I take 2 or 3 days off the gym, the next month they're getting brand new PDFs and videos sent to. They're like, fuck me, what's this guy doing? I'm like, brain. That's another thing too. Like, if you're exerting so much energy into training, like, whenever you actually pull back for a day or two, you'll realise how much energy you have to put into other things.
Yeah, no, I find that too, especially when I'm balancing like coaching and teaching. Anytime I've taken a bit of time off, it's allowed me to really free up a lot of my time then, because my issue a lot of the time is finding time within my schedule to maybe post content frequently enough, for example. But if I take time away from the gym, that time that I would have been training, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I can put into planning, creating content that's going to give a bit of value. So I find that too.
My side of it's more like a bit of exhaustion there as well, sort of lifts, where I'm not saying I'm fucking exhausted all the time, but yeah, I find myself, like, you know, avoiding some tasks even though they're right in front of me. Sometimes I don't want to eat the frog, and funny enough, it gets to the point where even Friday night there, I had 2 tasks. One was, this was me just getting ahead of work. I could have either set up an online client on the Friday night or went and trained legs, because of the way, like, timing was. And I found myself picking what most people would see as a difficult task, which is just going and training. Whereas I'm, like, sitting in front of a laptop and frying my brain trying to program something is not what's actually going to help me here. I find it more taxing doing the work sometimes than I do actually training. Yeah,
because training is an outlet. Like, yes, training isn't therapy, but training is definitely therapeutic for a lot of people, myself included. It's that time that you have that's invaluable to yourself. You can put into yourself. All life stress, life worries can somewhat go to the side during that time, where you can just switch on, and it's your time for self-improvement. So I definitely think that the endorphins and benefits you get from training are very invaluable too. Like, let's be honest, 95% of people, and that's being generous, that you see training in the gym aren't training effectively. They're not training properly. And that can be frustrating. Like, it frustrates me at times, because as a coach you're seeing them, like, and you can maybe see it as wasting time a bit in some aspect. And when it comes maybe to physique development, yes, that time isn't being put to any good use. Like, if you're not training close to failure, etc., you're not going to be changing your physique. But for a lot of those people, sometimes maybe due to ignorance you don't think about it. That's an outlet for them. Who knows what stress is going on in their life, and they're in for that hour. Yes, okay, they might not be training in the best possible way, but that can be an invaluable time for them, and allow them to actually manage stress in their life in general.
Fuck yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it was something I came to a very, very strong opinion on at a very early age of training, was that, do you know what, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on in anyone's life in the gym, and I should not be judging them at all. Like, you could have people come, like, and that's especially from me even coming back from like really bad injuries, and you'd probably look at me and be like, that guy is just not trying, or he's not lifting hard enough, he doesn't want it, you know. And that always went through my head. I was always quite anxious about that too. So to look at it from their perspective at all times and be like, do you know what, maybe that person can see something I don't even know right now, and maybe they're not even supposed to be training today. Maybe they just need it out of the house.
As you know, that's how I feel when I'm taking a devolume in the gym. So if I'm still going to the gym but I'm not training to failure, I'm going, he thinks I'm a proper bitch for training like this, and I get embarrassed thinking, like, I just want to let everyone know this is not how I train.
The t-shirt, I'm on a deload.
I'm on a devolume here, yeah. But like, I get that when I'm taking a devolume. It's like you feel like you're not, because you're not training hard, and you're not training close to failure. But and then you look around and it's like, oh, it's fine, everyone else is training like that anyway.
I'm just a normal person now, so yeah, great.
Yeah,
not an athlete anymore. Mate, I feel like that, like, get into, see, especially when you go for like ultra flex, maybe you're rocking a wee bit of knee pain, you can't go heavy on the leg press or something, you're just like, just let everybody know. Just let everyone know I've got a sore knee and I actually can't, this is suboptimal for me, so this, yeah, like, everyone's like, yeah, I'm training 5 reps in the reserve today, promise.
That's another thing. No one really cares what you're doing in the gym. They're too focused on themselves to really even acknowledge or consider what you're doing, and if what you're doing is optimal. Majority of the time they're too busy focused on themselves. So if you ever have anxiety in the gym in regards to recording yourself, I find a lot of the time is a big friction point that a lot of people come across. Most people don't care. They're too busy focused on themselves for that. The time, at least they should be. If they're not, then it says more about them.
Yeah, just remember as well that all these people are just NPCs and you're the main character, so they don't actually realise you're even there. Do you ever look at some people and you're just like a person has just been programmed into my day-to-day life? Like, I see the same guys at the same time every single day doing the same thing, which I'm like, that's really strong habits. But then I'm like, that's so strange. Like, why do I see this person every single day doing the exact same thing?
Never had a conversation with them. Just a gentle nod.
Yeah, like I'm never ever supposed to. Maybe I should just fuck the system up and like get out of the car one day and just go start talking to this random person that I've never had an interaction with.
Do you like talking in the gym though? I find it may come across as rude or ignorant, but it's not. It's just genuinely like, I'm there, and what I get enjoyment from is progress and taking that time to myself to focus on my training. So I don't really like engaging in too much conversation when I'm there in the gym.
I like talking to the right people, Emmett.
Yeah, sometimes I'll come across, like, very, very rarely, but I will get into a good conversation, and you will speak to different people who have maybe had some cool experiences, mainly other people that maybe train in a similar way, train hard too, where you can sometimes get a spot off them, spot each other, and you have a bit of conversation, but not too much where it's taken away from your session, because like a lot of people are under time constraints when they're in the gym. So if you're spending like 5-10 minutes talking to someone, you need to be respectful of their time as well.
Yeah, that's very true. I think that you get better. That's definitely a skill, especially with the people that you want to talk to. Like, I want to talk to, I now have another Emmett in my life. I want to talk to Emmett and I want to talk to Finn, and like I would talk to Ben as well if we were training. So I think it's a skill of knowing when to conversate and knowing when to shut the fuck up and lock in. Like, there's rest periods for that reason.
Like, you've named 3 people there who also train extremely hard, and they're in your sort of similar circle where they have the same coach, and they're all sort of training towards this.
Ben is the coach, but
yeah, Ben's the coach. Then the other 3 are clans of Ben. They're all training towards a similar goal. So I think that's a bit of an exception there.
Exceptions.
But and they know how much to talk because they're all there to train hard. Some people are just there to have a bit of a jaw day and there for a bit of conversation.
You'll see if anyone's actually had an interaction with Finn Healy, he does this thing where he means well in the sense that he wants to have a conversation with you, but if he's asked you out of politeness and you start to give him an answer that's a bit long-winded, he'll walk away. Like, he'll literally just leave the conversation instantly.
And just going to go back to the set.
Yeah, so like,
yeah,
he does it in the gym here all the time. We'll be working in the morning and he'll go, sir.
No, I think that's I rate that, to be fair. You have to be a bit selfish with your time when you're in the gym, and as rude as that may come across, you know, you're there for yourself. I would probably try and go about it in a more polite way, but that's just me not being direct enough, maybe.
Just you actually have manners, mate. No, but it's not even in a gym setting either. It's like we work together now, and he'll be sit down there going, so like, what are you at the rest of the day? I'll be like, oh well, you know, I've got clients and then Muay Thai or whatever, and then right, we'll see you later. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, next meal, have to get my meal. Actually, if you can hear slamming in the background, that's him now. So I am going to have to say it, Emmett. I'm going to have to say that, folks, this is a short one today. We hope we've given you a wee bit of value, but yeah, I'm on time restraints. What's happening right now is me, Finn, Rihanna are all heading to Derry, or as some people know it, Londonderry.
6 silent leathers.
6 silent.
The only county with 6 silent leathers in it.
But yeah, we're heading up to the PCA, and what me, Emmett, and 2 secret guests are going to be doing midweekly here. Hopefully, our Friday podcast is we're going to be dropping a nice wee PCA first timers review.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Getting the lads on. One of which you may have mentioned there. I don't know if we're keeping that anonymous. But
it's always a big secret, isn't it? Secret shows.
I will leave it there. I mean, I know you need to get on with your day. We'll leave you with a focal and lay.
I was going to say that. I was like, fuck, we've actually forgot it because I was like going to put you on the spot. I was going to give you one.
Yeah.
But sure.
Ski is taking a rest. Does ski a liganch. So take a bit of a rest, and that's relevant to taking a rest, taking the devolume, or sus a hogel, take a break. Ski a liganch, no sus a hogel. Either way, only take a break, take a deload if it's necessary. Don't take it because you've scheduled it in every 6 to 8 weeks. Don't auto-regulate your deloads, but take them if and when they're needed, providing you're training hard enough that there will be a time when you need one.
Yeah, it's all subjective, and you'll know if you're being a wee bitch if you hold yourself that high of standard. If not, we're going to know because you're going to be smaller than us. Right, folks, have an excellent fucking day. I'll speak to you soon. There he is, big man banging on the door now. What do you want? Yeah, you can come in. Do you just want to see Finn? Yeah.
Get him in.
Welcome to the Craic'n Coach, buddy. You all good?
Is he on the call?
No, I'm just finishing the podcast this exact second.
Sorry.
Finn, come in.
He said come in. Here, Finn. Emmett said come in. I'm on the headphones. Yeah.
Well,
You alright, mate?
What's happening? How are you?
All good.
Living
You
the
training?
dream? No, fuck.
You're
going down
coaching?
to Derry here.
Oh yeah.
So I am.
Are you coming on? Are you coming on tomorrow?
Yeah, it's 7. I'll
I
be
believe
on.
so.
Rip into all the first timers. He's fat. He's shite. Give it up. Give it up. Don't bodybuild again.
Soggy glutes.
Aye, ripping into all of it.
Aye. Emmett, tell Finn the Falkland lay and get him to pronounce it.
Ski Hilligans.
What's
Repeat
that? Ski
Take a break.
Engines.
Ski. A
Ski.
liganch.
A ligange.
A ligange.
Ski ligange.
Perfect. Ski a liganch. 3 words.
Take a break.
take a break.
Is that what it means?
We're talking about deloads. I think we'll leave it there. That's perfect.
I'll
Thanks,
go
mate.
now, folks. You know, that partially disabled young man can pronounce it, so you can't too.
That's it. Light work.
Right, Amit. Have a good
Enjoy
fucking
the
day.
show.
I'll speak to you
to you
soon,
later on. Slán go fáil.
sir. Slán go for it.
Slán.